Alrighty folks, thanks for tuning in. We got a DIY video. This one should be pretty simple. So when I first got the kayak, I saw a bunch of people changing out their pedals and I didn't get it. I was like, man, these things are awesome. Why would I need to change it out? Right? They're soft, you know, just no issues. But now that I've had the kayak for almost 2 years, I get it. These things, see these pads? They're just shot. Look at that, it just comes off, you know, and you need some kind of traction there. So this is not gonna work. Both of these just, especially in hotter weather, makes sense, right? So this adhesive gets a little hot. It's just not pleasant. These things fall out at the most inconvenient times, which, where did that go? This thing, okay. So I'm gonna change these pedals out. So I bought something really inexpensive. These are, what's this brand called? Mizra? I don't even know how to say it. I'll put the link in the description. I bought these on Amazon, 20 bucks. They look pretty cool. And yes, they have these spikes on it, but I've heard people take off one side. Yeah, it looks like it just, you just need an Allen key. Take off one side if you want to pedal barefoot. So yeah, let's get to it. I'm gonna take these things off first. Let's see how much corrosion's inside, but hopefully they just come off easily. And I know the left pedal is reverse threaded, so just keep that in mind. So, you know, you just clamp some kind of maybe crescent wrench or something there. This one will be lefty-loosey. This one will be lefty-righty, actually, to loosen it. All right, let me take these off and I'll be right back. All right, pro tip here. I'm not a pro, I just want to say that. People always say pro tip. Amateur tip here. So the space in between here is kind of tight, right? To get some kind of wrench in there. So just take off the pedal. All it is, there's your pedal. The only thing that's holding it together, if I can find it, is this tiny screw. So just get an Allen key, take that off, then you have, jeez, I'm breaking stuff. Then you have all this space to work with. Now you're just gonna put a crescent wrench there and turn it counterclockwise. Okay, so it's off. Took a little elbow grease. I'll clean that out right there. It is hard to take off, and I heard that it's because they use Loctite, and if you have corrosion, it's gonna be even harder, so maybe spray some 3-in-1 or WD-40. But it did come off. Cleaned off the hole there. But before I put this pedal on, like I said, I'm gonna take off screws on one side. And don't ask me what size Allen key it is. I just kind of tested all the ones that I have and this one seems to fit. So I'll take off these, 10 on this side. So if I do decide to go barefoot, leave the spikes on the other side. So that's it. And by the way, it just screws on. Let me see if I can take this cap off. There we go, just screws on there. Alrighty, one side is done. As you can see, I removed all the screws on this one side to use barefoot. Just threaded it in. I put a little 3-in-1 just to help it get in there nice and smooth. One thing you want to do is probably clean that hole out really good so nothing gets caught up in the thread of this new pedal. But yeah, so far so good. We'll just do the other side, but a pro tip. I can't stop now. It took a million hours to get all these little screws out. So if you can, use a power tool, but just be careful, this is plastic. Okay, just took off the right side. Just remember, it's righty-loosey on the left pedal, okay? So you're gonna turn it that way to loosen and that way to tighten. All right, so we'll get the screws off the new pedal and then we'll thread it into this. Now, let me just show you something real quick. If you get the ones that I got, the screws are really tiny. So the Allen or the hex key is gonna be small. So I would just keep these as spares or as backups. And then also keep your original ones because you may be able to, or you may have to use it as a backup at some point. And you can just glue those pads back on, just to get you by for a day or two. This side actually went on a lot easier, and I just cleaned the inside of that before I threaded it back on. And again, I'm gonna keep reiterating this. This is reverse threaded, so you gotta turn it left to tighten. As you can see, I removed all the screws on one side. The other side's gonna have it. So yeah, that's it. Very, very simple. I would say if you're not taking off these screws, total time from removal to installation is less than 5 minutes. If you have to take off all these screws, I'm gonna say 5 hours. I'm just kidding. Probably like 15 minutes unless you're using a power tool. But that's it. I think, you know, it's a nice upgrade. It's, you know, they have nicer pedals, you know, that probably spin freely a little bit better, but $20 price point is about the most I want to spend on new pedals. Otherwise, I would have just, you know, super glued or hot glued that padding back on. I'll leave a link to these pedals. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care, guys.